It's so nice to meet you. My name is Ellen. I'm with blackfilm.com. And I'm joined by Zolee Griggs, who stars in the new action thriller Archenemy. Welcome.
Thank you, Ellen. Nice to meet you as well.
Yes. So this was such a fun and stimulating film for me. I didn't know what to expect going into it, but the introduction to your character Indigo was it was low key kind of dope. Like the name, the belt, the walk, the blue braids, the swag. Like, what did you think about her when you first read the script?
Thank you. Yeah, I definitely thought she was a free spirit. I was like, okay, Indigo is in her own world. And I love that she has two sides to her. As you've seen the film, she has her side, her soft side, her fairy tale side, and then she has, what you mentioned, her badass side, which is kind of a front that she has to put on. So I love her. I think she's multifaceted, and I think she takes it on well.
I think so too. I also think that the film did such a great job establishing the main characters early on. There was kind of this theme of the intro of just you guys walking. Max Fist was walking across the street, and then Skyland's character was skateboarding down the street, and they
Right.
walk to the manager. And I was like, okay, that's kind of cool the way that they did that. So the color indigo, it conveys a lot of meaningful elements. And I had to go and do research after I watched the movie. Like, okay, what does the color actually mean? And then it's dignity, it's wisdom, it reflects devotion and deep sincerity. How did you prepare for all that is indigo?
Definitely. I think the easy thing for us, firstly, was doing the outer work,
Yeah.
creating what she physically looked like. So, of course, figuring out the type, like the specific color blue and the type of like outfits that she would wear and things that she would incorporate, including like the belt that you mentioned. Because once you can visually see yourself, it makes it that much easier to hone in who you are on the inside. And so I think because of the cards she was dealt in the movie, it's very easy for her to take on these roles. Like she's been, I don't want to say too much, but she's played a lot of different roles, considering it's her and her brother. So she already knows what it's like to be a big sister slash a mom. And so, I think that's where the devotion comes from. She knows she's got to do whatever to make ends meet for her brother. Not even for herself, I would say, but for her brother. So she's got a lot of pride. She's got a lot of wisdom. She knows what it means to be that, figure for someone. I would love to say something, but like I don't want to ruin it. So for those who haven't seen yet, so we'll just have to discuss it after the fact.
Fair enough. Yeah. So, speaking of your relationship, or Indigo's relationship with her brother Hamster, who's played by Scallon Brooks,
Mm-hmm.
she does all that she needs to do that's within her power to protect her little brother. Can you talk a bit about the brother sister bond between you and Indigo and Hamster, and then between you and Skylin, and how it worked so well and why it worked so well?
Yeah, I think Indigo and Hamster, it's a little bit more parental at times. Um, and she can be a bit overprotective considering that, she's older. So in her eyes, it's like, oh, I've been there, done that. When your mom is trying to warn you, like,
Yeah.
I'm telling you because I know I've been there, done that. And she's kind of on that level. And he's like, I want to figure it out for myself. And it's true, you do have to learn and figure out your mistakes and everything by yourself. So I think she's definitely a little bit more protective and doesn't want to get him harmed or his feelings hurt ever. Now, Zolee and Skylin are completely different. We're just silly, we're goofy, like we support one another, which Indigo and Hamster are too, but there's a little bit more trepidation. And yeah, Skylin is great people. I was really excited to not just meet with him, but work with him because, you know, I've seen his previous works before, and he just seemed like a really cool dude, to which he is. So I'm very happy to have worked with him and for us to have a relationship now. You know, he's really sweet.
I don't know if you're familiar with the movie Set It Off. Do you remember that movie?
I do.
So your relationship with your brother reminds me of Jada Pinkett's relationship with her brother in Set It Off. She was kind of like this older sister who was uber protective about her brother, wanted him to go to college.
Mm-hmm.
So when I saw that, it was a nice relatable moment. Like, wow, okay, this is familiar in a really special way.
I like that connection that you made.
I was intrigued by your character and some of the decisions that she made, particularly when Indigo opts not to take drugs from Creed, but instead plays Russian roulette. What is it about Indigo that just has her so comfortable in like a sketchy, scary environment? Like you owned moments where I'm thinking like she's gonna freak out. Like, how is she gonna respond? But then you were just kind of like, yeah, I got this. I'm a boss. Like, what was that?
Definitely a facade. And also, it's like I deal with these crazy men 24/7, you know? I think if anything, she would be more afraid of the manager than she would Creed, because it's like I deal with the manager every day. I see how he overreacts. You know, I know how he can flip like this. So Jimmy Creed, I've seen him around. I've scoped him out. You know, like even though it is a very scary situation, I know that I can't show any weakness because then the manager is gonna bring out, you know, an issue that's 10 times worse than what I could deal with. So I think she has put on a mask to definitely be like, you know what, you just have to deal with this and you have to play it cool. And then also in that scene specifically, they're talking about, you know, how the city is crazy, but she's grown up in it, so she's kind of used to it. So I think it's all these different factors. Like she's used to being around these types of people. She's used to having to put on a facade, and she's used to having to deal with the manager who is also high intensity and like doesn't play games. So at this point, Krieg is like the least of her worries. But it was definitely a wild situation to be in for sure.
Yeah, I mean, when first walked into the manager's office and you sat down and you said, so how's business? And the way that you asked that question, in my mind, I was just so impressed by your character, because that was like the first official intro into your character. So knowing who the manager was and then how you sat down just very comfortable, you could have been the manager for all in that moment, because that's just how comfortable and bossy you were, like, and unintimidated. So going back to the idea of a facade, like you put on the best facade ever.
Thank you. I think she definitely revs up for that in the walk, in the introductory. It's like, let me prepare myself, let me put the face on, because I don't know what he's going to say, want. He's a wild card. So she has to do that walk and that preparation every time she goes.
Nice. And speaking of preparation, you had some kick-ass scenes in the film. Like Indigo looked super comfortable holding a gun and shooting at bad guys. And that was also a bit of a surprise for me, right? Because there's this innocence to Indigo, but then there's this whole other side that's just, kind of badass. What was the preparation process like for those, action scenes? And were there any challenges getting to that, point?
The preparation, I mean, honestly, it was exciting for me. It was all really fun because I haven't done any action movies, scenes, incorporating weapons and things like that. So I was just interested to see how it would all go down. Thankfully, we had multiple stunt people on set who would kind of walk us through choreography. We would rehearse beforehand multiple times so it could run smoothly. I would say I was nervous more so about the ending scene between the manager and I. That was pretty intense.
Yeah.
And luckily my co-star Joe, he showed me how to hold a gun. He showed me how to point and shoot, and he was explaining like the different type of weapons that we had on set and how they would actually work, because none of them are real, of course, to be safe. And so it was really nice to have all these different hands come in and help me and show me how everything would work, the technicalities. And then, yeah, I think the spirit of it was just like, it's do or die. I think that's a theme in life, and we see it in movies and other films, and we listen to it in music sometimes and things like that. So you just embody that, and then you have a situation going on, and it's just like, okay, it's one of those do or die times. You got to do what you got to do,
Yeah,
for the greater good of you and your brother. So
right, to stay alive.
Yeah.
Job well done on that. And speaking of Joe, how was it working with him in this film?
He was super sweet. I remember the first day we met, we were actually at a restaurant, and we sat down and we're just, we're chopping it up. We're talking about our experiences and, working. And I really enjoy working, of course, with like older professional actors that have been in the game for a long time, because I can learn a lot from them. But he's like a super sweetheart, and I love him because he is like a mentor without actually being one. Like, he's always giving us cool stories or like facts about, just he's been in the game for so long, he knows a lot. So it's always good to hear what they have to say and how they, like prep for the role. He's in the hair and makeup chair, letting them know like what he thinks would be good for this character and how he would like to get more into it, things like that, giving his own opinion. So it was great to just be around him, and I don't even have to necessarily say anything, just to take it all in and watch and listen. And it was great.
What did you love most about playing Indigo?
I loved the free spiritedness, like the wacky outfits, but then the badass scenarios that she's in. I haven't done a character or a role like that before, so I love that it was fun and expressive, like you can physically see it. But then, like you said, she'll be in some crazy predicaments, and you're like, this doesn't add up. Like, there's an innocence to her, but she's in this wild scene. So the freedom to do those both was a lot of fun. Yeah, it was just a super new experience. It was fun.
And so I loved the ending of the film. It was an unexpected cliffhanger, and I foresee a spinoff with Indigo. Like, I can visualize that. Can you spill any tea about that? Because between director Adam Egypt Mortimer's world building skills and then Indigo's new purpose, it would make for a dope sequel.
Yeah, I mean, I think that would be a possibility if everybody goes out and watches the movie and loves it. So time will tell. That's all I can say.
Okay. Yeah, I would definitely sign up to watch that sequel and tell a whole bunch of people.
Thank you. Yeah, I would love to do a sequel, so we'll see.
Yeah, and so the Archenemy releases in theaters, on digital, and on demand on December 11th this week, or is it this week? Yeah. And
yeah,
so,
this Friday.
Yeah, perfect day for a movie release, Friday, right? What would you like viewers to know about this film that we haven't captured?
That you're not going to get bored. There's a little bit of everything. The visuals are insane. There's a lot of action. There are some heartfelt moments as well. So you're just going to get a little taste of everything. So I hope, if you do watch it, that you enjoy it, because you will be entertained.
Indeed. I enjoyed it, and I was thoroughly entertained.
I'm glad.
Thank you so much for talking to blackfilm.com. I look forward to what you have coming next in the future. I think you're awesome, and have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you. Same to you. It was great meeting you.
Likewise. Bye.
Bye.